Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Piper Jasmine and I am taking you guys along with me for my first day of medical school. This is actually the first day of classes, but now the light's changing, so I'll be right back. So today is the first day of lecture and classes officially, and it's 8:13 a.m. and my first lecture is at 8:30. So why won't it focus? I am like low-key running late. Like once I park, I'm basically gonna have to run to my lecture room, but I made it. I have on a cute fit. I feel good. I don't know why this isn't focusing, but I'm gonna roll up my window. I got like 7 hours of sleep, so I'm feeling good. I got my lunchbox, so breakfast is in there, and it's gonna be a great day. Shit just got real, things are getting intense now. Okay guys, so it's 8:20 a.m. and I'm now at school. So I have 3 lectures today. So one at 8:30, one at 10:30, and then one at 1:30. And then I'm also doing a panel today after school. So it's kind of a long, busy day, but first day back. What else to expect when you're in medical school? So let's go and find a seat in the classroom, I guess. Sometimes I like to take the longer route to class so I get my steps in, like instead of taking the shortcut inside the buildings. And it's actually nice this morning. It's not too hot, not too humid, so get your steps in. It's 10:18 and we just finished our first lecture.
Trying to make those money, trying to make that money.
But the first lecture was pharmacology. I was kind of familiar with some of the stuff, so it wasn't too bad. He didn't. I gotta find another. He's gonna have to find another way to make some money. So here we are. Next are feet pictures. So.
Another little babe. Congratulations.
Hey guys, so check-in. It's 12:54 p.m. I'm about to warm up my lunch and I just meal prepped some chicken tacos and some sweet potatoes. I'm gonna open up some bubbly. This is the Bellini Bliss and it's so good. It has peach, pineapple, and mango flavors. So I'm back home. My plan, truly guys, my plan was to stay at school, but there were no study spaces and fundamentals of medicine lecture. It was just very brief and basic, so I just didn't want to spend like 2 hours in the classroom to go over interviewing because we had those tier 2 lectures with pharm and path. So I just felt like it would be better use of my time to go over the fundamentals of medicine lecture myself and to go ahead and start reviewing the other lectures. And I also don't know where my Anki remote is, and I left my first aid book here, so it just kind of made a little bit more sense for me to come home for lunch. And I'm gonna be going back to school. I'm gonna leave like at 4 o'clock because I need to go to CVS and pick up my birth control, and then I have the panel at 6. So my goal is to like study pretty hard from 12:04 and then get my prescription and make my way back to school to get there before or around 6 o'clock, preferably before, because just knowing me, like I always run late to stuff and I don't want to run late to this. So that's why I'm leaving at 4, get my stuff, go back to school, and I think that's when, I don't know, sure I'm still gonna have plenty of studying to do, but that's kind of my plan, and I can just study at school while I wait for the panel. And then I'm gonna bring a change of clothes because I really want to go to the gym today, and I'm hoping that I can be done with the day around 9 o'clock, so we'll see. Okay, so I found my Anki remote. If you've been watching me, like my past videos, Week in the Lives, this is my best friend. Honestly, we should name her. We're gonna name her Sally's the first thing that popped into my head. I don't think I like Sally. Mimi, the Anki remote. But wait, doesn't Mimi mean grandma? We're gonna go back to Sally. Sally, the Anki remote, me and her were like this. Honestly, for me, I don't think the first day of lecture, like it went fine. I feel like some of it, like it wasn't of new content to where it felt overwhelming. What? This is my password. Yeah, it wasn't like a ton of new content, so I feel like that makes it feel less overwhelming, especially the first day. Some of it was new though. Like I had first farm lecture was on pharmacodynamics. It really kind of reminded me stuff that I before, like back in undergrad with enzymes and like KM and the max and stuff like that. So I don't think that it was like too difficult. I actually found it a little bit interesting too. And then the pathology lecture, wasn't like new stuff, because obviously at this point in like medical school, you've heard of some terminology. Like you've heard of excisions, you've heard of incisions, you've heard of a punch biopsy. Like I was able to see all of that this summer, which you guys can check out my like summer internship diaries up here, where I rotated in dermatology at a medical school and like hospital up in the New England area. But what lecture am I looking for? It's like interview. I do think this is the intro. We need to look for interview. Yeah, so that was interesting. So like you kind of already know about some of it. This was the first time that we were like actually learning it. So it kind of makes you feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm in medical school. Like now we're learning like some of the things that we're going to be seeing and practicing in clinic, like choosing what kind of biopsy you want to give to your patients. So I actually I think I'm gonna like pathology. I'm really hoping that this year is kind of gonna be kind of like my chemistry, my organic chemistry kind of journey at UGA, where I hated OChem 1. I wasn't good at OChem 1, but OChem 2 I was really good at. So I'm kind of hoping that this year kind of follows like a similar kind of theme. Like, okay, last year I struggled, but I did a lot better this year than last year. Why is it so hard to find this lecture? Like sometimes it's just not that hard to like organize our stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go over this fundamentals of medicine stuff and eat my lunch before I start reviewing my lectures from today. Okay guys, so I reviewed my fundamentals of medicine lecture, and let me show you guys my Notion really quick. I really think that my Notion my Notion, and this is how I keep everything organized for class. And down to courses, or we stay on that page actually. Scroll down. I did a whole video of how I entered this stuff in, but like for example, fundamentals, interviewing, and intro, I can now change it to, well, let's add in, we're gonna add in red, even though I probably will. Let's do blue. Ignore like the to-do and in progress and stuff, but we're gonna say that I read this, and yeah, it helps me keep track of all of my lectures, so I just make sure that I've gone through every lecture for the unit. But we're gonna start off with reviewing next. And so today I had my intro. Why is my camera acting funny? Today I had my intro in general principles pharmacodynamics 1, and I actually attended this lecture. I'm going against my own advice. Should I do New York? I can't decide. Fashion week was more your thing than mine. I can't even lie. I'd rather stay inside. I can't do suit and tie. Okay guys, so clock in. It's 4:30 and I just finished going over my pathology lecture. It wasn't too bad. I'm just tired now, and the day is not over, but it feels like it should. These were my notes for this lecture. It was definitely a lot more notes than I took than my first lecture. So I felt pretty comfortable with my first lecture because I always like enjoyed like the enzymes and the graphs and all of that. So it wasn't a whole bunch of new information. I did the Anki deck for the first lecture. So when I get back to school, I'm gonna do the Anki deck for the second lecture. I'm gonna go over my first aid book when I'm at school too, to kind of get that in the way. And yeah. I actually did take a nap. I took like an hour nap and it was great. I took a nap before I reviewed this lecture. It's like, don't think that you need to study straight. Like I was in class from like, I was in class from literally 8 to 12:30. Came back, went over 2 lectures. You can take a nap. It's okay. It's okay to breathe and close your eyes for a second. It helps you feel more refreshed and not so tired, because I know that when I'm like tired, it just doesn't even make sense for me to go over the lectures because I'm too tired to even care, you know? So it's okay to take a little break. So me kind of changing and going back to school is gonna be my break. And like I said, I'm gonna bring a change of clothes so I can go to the gym. Okay guys, so I'm out of my pajamas now and we're gonna go back to school. Okay guys, so I'm at school now and it's 5:40 and the panel starts at 6. So I'm just gonna try to do this Anki deck for my pathology lecture before the panel starts, and hopefully this laptop charger works. It's old and I found it the other day, so we're gonna hope. It doesn't work. Dang it. Dang it. It's just me in an empty classroom.
I guess, yeah. That's why I'm not with nobody, cause I don't wanna hurt nobody. Did it over text, didn't call me. Still got love for your mommy. I know you wanna be somebody, even if you gotta leave somebody.